Berbice Exposition and Trade Fair being held at the Kanji Welfare Ground. I am Adrian Anamaya and I will be your host, your chairperson for this evening. Undoubtedly, this is the largest and most anticipated calendar event in Berbice, and one of the largest in the country. Last year, we had over 40,000 persons visiting the exhibition over a 4-day period. I assure you that this year will be bigger and better. You will not be disappointed. This event, the venue is completely sold out. There are over 150 exhibitors on display and in attendance, ranging from small businesses to mega companies, complemented by live entertainment and activities for our children. The organizers and the coordinators have again outdone themselves. This exhibition site is simply immaculate. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Your presence here is greatly appreciated. We have a packed program, so I'll go straight into it. And the first item is some remarks from a gentleman who really needs no introduction. He has been serving this region with distinction for over 13 years. Always a cool, calm, and collected figure. He's a very articulate speaker. I personally love to hear him. It is my pleasure to welcome to the podium Regional Chairman, Region 6, Mr. David Argo.
Thank you, Adrian, Master of Ceremonies, Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Comrade Zulfikar Mustafa, President of the Central Quarantine Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Barak Kunai, Professor Sankat, CEO of Go Invest, Mr. Ram Saroop, members of the Central Quarantine Chamber of Commerce, members of the sister chambers within the region, members of the business community, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I am particularly pleased and excited once again to be part of this opening ceremony of the 18th Annual Exposition and Trade Fair to be held by the Central Quarantine Chamber of Commerce. It must have taken them a Herculean task, tremendous effort and great stamina to be able to put together an event of such class and nature, which, as Adrian told you, is the biggest event to be held in this region over the last 18 years. The people of this region look forward with great expectation to this event, not only because it gives them an opportunity to see what is on display in the business community and also give the business community to display their products, but it also gives them an opportunity to bring out their families over the next 4 days to witness what is going on within the confines of this ground. Today, on this event, 18 years after, continues to grow because more and more exhibitors are showing interest. And only a few days ago, a few investors called me to find out if there was any available space. And when I tried to find out from the chamber, they said none was available. So that just goes to tell you that people would have booked long in advance to ensure that they can be here today, tomorrow, the next day, and Monday to display their products. Berbice today is accelerating in a very fast-paced development. Today we see unprecedented works taking place within this region as promised by our government when they came back into power in 2020. His Excellency has made a commitment to this region to ensure that we progress at a rate never seen before in the history of this region. We are progressing at a rate which has become the envy of many other people in some other regions. But as far as I know, every region is seeing development under this government. Here in Berbice, the infrastructure has improved tremendously over the last 4 years. Only a few days ago, the Vice President was here last week to hand out over 400 roads which are to be done in this region. Infrastructure is developing in every part of our region, whether it's in roads, whether it's in buildings, whether it's in other forms of infrastructure. Even in the school system today, we find that the schools are in a better state today than they were prior to 2020. New schools are being developed, and the present ones are being renovated to ensure that students are comfortable and teachers are comfortable. So much so that we are seeing better results, not only from our grade 6 students, but also from the CXC and the other exams that they write, the National Grade 6 exam, the CXC, and the CAPE examination. These are all examinations that we have excelled, and we have now become on par and even better than some of the Caribbean countries that used to do better than us before. Today, if you look around the region, you will see 2 new hospitals being built in the health sector. And in every corner of our region, you find new health centers being set up. And even the New Amsterdam Hospital, which has taken some licks over the last years, we have seen some improvement there as well, whereby new services being offered and the new diagnostic capacities being improved at the laboratory. So all in all, things are improving. A new stadium is being developed. 2 new hospitals, as I said, one at Skelden, at 74 Village, and one here in New Amsterdam, state-of-the-art hospitals. And when those 2 hospitals are completed, we can be able to compete with any of the private hospitals in this country. That is the pace with which development is taking place. Right here at Palmyra, new stadium is being built. So in another year or 2 from now, you do not have to go to Georgetown to see CPL cricket. CPL cricket will come right here in Berbice. You don't have to go to Providence. The road projects. One of the major projects that is expected to take place shortly is the highway from the bridge to Molson Creek, which when completed will see a brand new 4-lane highway, which is expected to benefit the people of this region. So lots of developments taking place. Right now, today, this morning, over 1,000 house lots were given out at Molson Creek by the Ministry of Housing. And they are developing new areas in Palmyra and some of the other areas within the region to make sure that our housing drive is continued and that persons who have applied for houses, for land, will be given their houses, their land very shortly. So we are moving apace, and nothing can stop the development of Berbice now. Even in the agriculture sector, which I do not want to speak about tonight, because the Honourable Minister will deal with that. 5 new excavators were handed over last Saturday or Sunday, to the people of Berbice, 2 in Blackbush Polder and 3 for the other areas. This will improve the drainage capacity of the NDCs tremendously, because these small excavators will be used in the NDCs to make sure that neighborhood democratic council drains are clean, and that whenever the rain falls very heavily, you don't get flooded, especially in the Kanji area here. So we look forward to exciting times within this region. So I encourage all of you More and more investors are coming into our country. Every day people come to my office in the region to find out what are the opportunities available for investment. So they are all interested in coming back to this region to invest their money. And so you, the people here in Berbice, must take advantage. You must prepare yourselves for the opportunities that are now available. So when we do not have outsiders coming and take the opportunities, and then we sit down and cry, all the opportunities are gone. So once again, we look forward to the next 4 days of fun, of entertainment, of good exhibition, so that our people once again can become happy for the next 4 days. We are already happy people, but for the next 4 days, we'll become much happier thanks to the Central Quarantine Chamber of Commerce. So thank you very much. God bless you, and God bless the Central Quarantine Chamber, and all the other chambers, and all the business community, and every citizen of our region. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Armagan. And we are happy people, and you'll be much happier in 4 days after this event is on its way. Thank you for that thorough overview of what's happening, the pace of development in the region, our own beautiful region, and also the admonition and the advice that we Berbicans need to capitalize and stop complaining. There are many opportunities out there. We'll move along with the program now, and we are blessed with so much talent in Berbice in various disciplines, young and old. The next item on the program is a dramatic poem by Miss Serena Bastille, a grade 11 student at J.C. Chandising Secondary School. And this is an original poem that she has done herself. So put your hands together for Serena.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Serena Bastille from J.C. Chandising Secondary School, currently in grade 11B. It is my pleasure to present to you my poem, Where Ambitions Take Flight. In the city's core, where the lights never fade, where dreams rise on whispers swiftly made, we gather here, hopes shining so bright, at this expo where ambitions take flight. From boardrooms to factory lights, through sleepless hours and tireless grains, the rhythm of progress rings clear and bright, lifting us where we belong. We are the creators, the bold, the keen, who turns ideas into the unseen. With every plan, invention, or trade, the future is something we've shaped and made. But behind the polish, the suits and sheen, there's grit, struggle, and things unseen. The quiet doubts, the hidden fear, the price we pay to persevere. Yet we still rise, heads held high. Our failures only push us to try. Every setback brings lesson gained. Every success is rightly claimed. So here's to the dreamers who dare to build, to push, to strive, to never be still. With every risk and every dare, we carve the future bold and real. At this expo, it's more than just display. We spark the change, we lead the way. Business is more than profit and gain. It's hope and vision in a world of change. And as curtains fall tonight, we'll leave with purpose that entrails. For here, we futurists have begun. We know the journey is far from done. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm sure you could do better, audience. She deserves a bigger round of applause for that. This evening, we are graced with the presence of a very distinguished gentleman who we will be remiss if we do not hear from him. And so we will invite him to make some brief comments. The person is no other than the Chief Investment Officer attached to His Excellency the President. He holds a doctorate degree in Management and Public Policy. It is my pleasure to invite Dr. Peter Ramsaru to offer a few remarks.
Thank you, Chair. It's always a pleasure to be in Region 6. We have supported this Expo for many, many years. Honorable Minister, it's good to be in your presence and the members of the organization. What is exciting about this region specifically, and actually I was just in Region 4 today, opening a call center with over 100 people that we plan to hire in Region 6 expansion. And today our staff was in quarantine with another investor looking at the quarantine building to hire close to 150 people. Our booth, when you go by this evening, you're going to see we sponsored 6 businesses, helping them figure out how to market their products both locally and externally. And one of our key roles as the Guyana Office for Investment is to get our local products into the international market. The President, His Excellency, wants us to brand Guyana. You know, he wants your bottle to say Guyana, the home of the best honey. So when you think of what you're selling to us, and when you think of what you want to get out there in the external market, do come to our office. Recently we closed a deal in Barbados where we were able to get our own DDL milk into the Barbados market. We were able to get only coconut throughout the Caribbean through Barbados. Many other, over 137 products produced in Guyana, we were able to influence the international market on. But what's most important, but His Excellency's vision of 2030 and beyond for this region. You've heard over the many years about the Deepwater Harbor. It is actually a reality, soon to be announced. You know, when we talk about a connection to Brazil, we're talking 30,000 plus containers coming through this region. It's a reality. Mr. Angelo was with me today. He talked about the 52 plus bridges already built to Lethem. The President announced recently returning Lethem to International Airport. You know, we heard about the stadium. Just a couple of weeks ago, we signed 2 new deals that will benefit you. 2 different 150-room hotel being built right next to the stadium. You're going to see major constructions starting within a couple of months from now of 2 150-room hotels being built right next to the stadium. What does that mean for you in agro-processing? And the Minister probably best to tell you. How are we going to feed all these people that the Chair talked about are coming to CPL here? What are you going to grow? What are the foreigners going to look to eat? We just finished the Suriname Guyana conference in Georgetown. Over 700 registrants. A lot of them are here tonight, passing back, going to Suriname. And Suriname will hold another conference. The President repeated the term, the twinning of our products. How do we work closely with our neighbor? How do we take now the energy that we're going to have? It is not impossible very soon between the bauxite finds of Suriname and Guyana that your region can see a smelter plant. Hundreds of thousands of jobs over the next few years in Guyana. The President used the term, we probably need 3 million people passing through Guyana by 2030. And the goal that I want to message that I want to leave with you is, where do you fit in the development? It's about housing, it's about development, but how is it individually you fit? When you hear His Excellency speak about our development in this region and across the country, and you're in agriculture, are you expanding? Are you looking at the green technology and the agri-tech that the Minister will talk to you about? Are you getting ready for 1,000 plus people that will be there to build the harbor when it starts? How are you going to prepare to take care of them? Are you building apartment buildings? Are you developing the farms? Whatever it is, don't be left behind. Don't wait for the opportunity to pass you. We are very explicit in what the investments are coming to our country. The government is very explicit in what they are doing outside of the social impact of hospitals and schools. But it's our job as citizens to figure out where we fit and how we are going to benefit. The goal, the president said, his measurement of success in his first and second term will be the prosperity of all of us. But we've got to work on ensuring we grab that prosperity and we take it for ourselves because it's ours. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Ramsrud. And again, he's imploring Barbicians to seize the opportunities. There are many opportunities out there. We can't sit idly by and allow them to pass. Next item on the program is our guest speaker. This gentleman is Professor Emeritus Clement K. Sankat, a proud Barbician. He is currently the director of the Guyana Technical Training College, now being built in Port Morant, right here in Quarantine, Berbice. Professor Sankat is a chartered engineer and a former PVC and principal of St. Augustine campus of the University of the West Indies and former president of the University of Belize. He is a well-trained, versed engineer with a BSc honors and a master's in mechanical engineering from the University of the West Indies. He has a doctorate in food and agriculture engineering from the University of Guelph in Canada. He's an academic par exemplar who has researched and published widely in many areas. He has taught extensively at the University of the West Indies. For the past 20 years, he's been a leader in the university administration for his work. He has been recognized widely, receiving the UWI's Vice Chancellor Award of Excellence, Guyana National Award, the CCH, and an honorable doctorate degree from the University of New Brunswick, Canada. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Professor Emeritus Clement K. Sankat.
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for that fine introduction. And let me say how pleased I am to be here at this exposition. All protocols have been observed. I think the Chairman did a wonderful job, the Vice Chairman. And let me also recognize all at the head table. I want to say a special welcome to our guests here, my brothers and sisters from Kuparan, Kanji, this entire Berbice area, my friends who are here. And there's a special person I want to recognize in the crowd here, the Ambassador of Guyana to Suriname, my good friend, Mr. Sherlock. He took the opportunity to come and grace us with his presence. And he told me, I didn't know that, we were friends from a long time, that he's from Kuparan, right here. So welcome Sherlock. Look, my dear friends, it's such a wonderful time to be in Guyana. We had some momentous announcements last week. $200,000. And then we had $100,000. And then we had the distribution of 4,000 house lots. 1,000 house lots. And the blessings from heaven continue to fall upon us. And we should say always thanks to the Almighty for His graciousness to us and to the government of Guyana and His Excellency in particular for leading this charge to help bring benefits out of the oil and gas wealth that we're receiving to all of us in Guyana. And I think our government deserves a warm round of applause for all the bounty they're bringing to us. Thank you, Honorable Mayor. It's truly astounding to hear what is happening in Guyana, which is the fastest growing economy in the world. But what is more important is the income that is being generated is being put to the use of Guyana, as we also heard from Mr. Ramsey and as well as our chairman. So we are living at a time in Guyana where it is going to change not only Berbice, not only the other regions, but Guyana for good and for better. We are living in a truly exciting time in this country. And people like myself are extremely fortunate to be able to contribute once more to our blessed land. You know, you don't know me, but I'm a 64 by. I come right from 64, from Rice and Capital. Went on to Queen's College, went to University of West Indies in Trinidad, went to Canada, came right back to the University of West Indies to serve my region, which includes Guyana. And of course, after that, I went to the University of Belize, and through God's graciousness, I am back in the land of my birth to once more give to my country. Not many are fortunate, but God has truly blessed people like myself to come back and give back to our country. And I'm so pleased to be here. You know, all my life, being out of Guyana, for those times when I've been out, and particularly in Trinidad, and Sherlock, your father will remember this, Randy. My anthem was, O Guyana Babu, O Guyana Babu. At every event at the University of West Indies, the DJ had to play that song. And Trinidadians used to ridicule me for that. Because, you know, I sang loudest when we said, now we pack up we grip and go back to Guyana. Trinidadians want to make people like me mad. Not today. Now, the world has changed. Nothing stays forever, my friends. Nothing stays forever. And they are now applauding what is happening in Guyana. I will speak briefly today on the theme of this exposition. But I also want to congratulate the Four Seas, the Central Quarantine Chamber of Commerce, for putting on this exposition and to do it for 18 years in such challenging previous times in Guyana must be something that we should always be proud of, and the Chamber deserves your applause. To bring this exposition to Berbice, and while it's a Berbician thing, I believe it has now become a Guyana exposition, because all Guyanese are looking forward to being here in Berbice for the next few days to showcase our Berbician talent, and of course to showcase our Berbician products, which we hope we can take to the world. And I commend the Four Seas for the work that they're doing. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good work. I will speak briefly on the theme of the Expo, and then we'll share some quick thoughts on Berbice's development, because time is of the essence. As I said, this has been a really tremendous journey for me, and I will speak specifically on what our government has tasked us to do in Berbice. The President has asked us to build the Guyana Technical Training College right here at the back of the Port Morant Market, behind the Port Morant Training College, hidden away, but you wouldn't believe what is happening there. Our government is investing 120 million US dollars in this facility that we're building there. And you need to go behind the market to see what is happening. We are in our infancy, but trust me, come the last quarter of next year, you will see a wonderful campus rise at the back there, one that is of global standards, global quality, and one that hopefully will not only attract our students from all across Guyana, and hopefully particularly from my beloved Berbice, but one that will attract students from the region, and in fact, some from the world. The first thing we're building there that we call Track 1 is an oil and gas training institute. It's being funded When I say funding, the funding is being advanced by ExxonMobil for the training of technicians for the oil and gas sector. Technicians in mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, instrumentation, process operations. And yes, we are going to also put on a program in building and construction because of the tremendous boom in building and construction and the need for skills in Guyana. So this is a skills training institute that is going to lead to a technician's diploma, and our president is quite clear. It has to be an accredited program, globally accredited, and we are doing that as we speak through a UK accrediting agency. So the programs will produce graduates who are fit for the world of work, ready for the world of work. To go on those FPSOs in the Atlantic, you have to be well trained. Not only in the disciplines of mechanical, electrical, etc., but elements of health and safety and being able to work in such an environment, which is a challenging environment on the ships and on the seas. But those are the opportunities that are going to arise for young Guyanese. Right now, the program is being delivered in Canada. The government and Exxon is expending enormous sums of money to train these students in Canada for 18 months, Guyanese students. Well, our task is to repatriate those programs to Berbice in this training institute that we're building. And I'm very, very pleased to say that we have already repatriated 6 months of that training through the simulator that we have built. And we built it in 9 months. It was opened by His Excellency the President in February, and we already had our first graduating class. Now it's the next 12 months that is done in Canada, where we are building this brand new campus with classrooms, tremendous workshops and laboratories. We are going to build a residence for 100 students. We are also building student facilities. And I'm very, very proud to say that our main contractor is a Berbician, and he's sitting right there in front, Mr. Rafiq and his firm of Rafiq Construction. They're doing a tremendous job. Give him a round of applause that a Berbician is building a world-class institution right here. I mean, I don't want to speak too much on his work, but it's of the highest quality and standards. And there's no doubt about, in my mind, that Rafiq could put Berbice on the regional and global map in terms of construction. We need to give our Guyanese contractors, engineers, architects, I'm an engineer myself. We need to give them an opportunity to grow and develop. Now, when I was at the University of West Indies, when we were hiring people, we always said, if a West Indian was nearly as good as a foreigner, we will give that West Indian a chance. That was the university's policy, and I think that is the policy, and it's a policy that we should applaud in Ghana. We have to give our own people a chance. They wouldn't know everything. We have to help them grow and develop and become global, world-class in whatever they do. So congratulations, Mr. Rafi. So that's the Oil and Gas Institute that we're building. But we're also building a hospitality and tourism institute. You probably didn't hear about that. Where we're going to train students to work in this growing area of hospitality and tourism that no one but Mr. Rampoot knows better than me. We just spoke about 2 new hotels to be built in Palmyra. Who's going to staff these hotels? Who's going to run these hotels? And these are world-class hotels. Well, that is exactly what we'll be doing in Port Morant at the Guyana Technical Training College. Training young people for the hospitality and tourism industry. The entire aspects of running a hotel, operating a hotel, all of it. Front desk, housekeeping, yes, cooking, food and beverage. We have to serve also with class, service quality, safety, health and safety. All of that you'll be trained in. And again, we'll be going to the certificate and diploma level, and we will be using other institutions so that we can help build a world-class quality. This will bring enormous benefits and potential for our Berbician people in particular, because we hope to train about 300 students a year in the hospitality and tourism. But there's another area that we'll be training in that you will be very, very happy to hear about. And that is in the whole area of cosmetology. We'll be training hairdressers. We'll be training all those people, what they call them, pedicure and manicure, and you know it, hairdressing, you name it. We will be training you and certifying you there. So this is an opportunity for you to seize so that you can become entrepreneurs in your own right. We have a lot of people, barbershop and all of that. Well, we're going to train you for the future. So look out for that. And the third thing, just in passing, we would also like to recapitalize the very venerable Port Moran Training College. A wonderful college doing great work, tremendous reputation, belonging to Gaisuko, but to be quite honest, it needs rejuvenation in terms of its infrastructure, equipment in particular. Well, we're working on that, and hopefully with the government support and the support of other beneficiary countries, that will also happen. So big things are happening right in your back door, and please pay attention because it's for you. One of the things you've got to remember as parents is to seize this opportunity. You've got to seize the opportunity for technical training. The days of university training only are not going to meet the needs of Guyana. For every university graduate, you will need 5 or 6 technicians. Technical skills is the name of the Guyana for Guyana's progress. We need that tremendously. And this institution will one day become Guyana's national technical university. Trust me, with time, that is where it's going to be heading. As a technical university, not your traditional university, more in the line of a technical university in Germany. Skills is the focus, hands-on. Now I want to also speak of the impacts. What are the benefits for you in Port Moran? Well, what we are creating there is a college town, a university town. And if you've traveled and you've gone to a university town, you will see the vibrancy that is developed in such towns. Young people needing all kinds of things. They need housing, for example. They need food. They need shopping. They need entertainment. Young people like to go to bars and clubs, and they like to go, especially on a Friday and a Saturday, they like to go to cinemas. All of those things will be required as we build this university town in Port Moran to Rosal. So there are huge opportunities for you as landlords and as entrepreneurs to get involved, because benefits are going to come. There's going to be a lot of vibrancy in Port Moran with an influx of about 500 students in the years ahead. So pay attention, including foreign students who will pay good money to be here. So those are some of the benefits that will come. Prepare. I also want to now share some thoughts on, this is Berbice. The Berbice, I know, is the food center of Guyana, has always been. The rice bowl of the Caribbean. The rice bowl of Guyana. I think, Minister, we're talking about 700,000 tons of rice now. Our rice production is growing by leaps and bounds. And I don't want to be political, but honestly, there's only one government that can take our rice production to these levels, and that is our government in power. Because of all the work they do and all the support they provide to our farmers, and no one exemplifies it better than this honorable minister, this Berbice. I know him for a long time, from 64. And the work that he does with the farmers to help alleviate their needs. And this is a very caring government when it comes to agriculture. And rice can only grow by leaps and bounds, and Guyana rice known all over the world. And of course we have entrepreneurs like Caribbean Rice, well known in Trinidad. Thank you, sir, for the work that you are doing to put Guyana on the map, and more will come. I was talking earlier about new varieties of rice, and the more aromatic varieties of rice, like basmati rice, for example. Well, things are going to come. New varieties are going to arise, and that will meet the new tastes that are developing in Guyana. so many Thailand varieties, for example. So look out for rice production. And I also want to congratulate the government on giving the sugar industry, and I don't like to talk about the sugar industry. I like to talk about the sugar cane industry because I've done a lot of research in my time on sugar cane. To give the sugar cane industry and all the benefits that it brings to our communities and our country in terms of the export of sugar and the foreign exchange reserve, to give it an opportunity to once more grow and thrive. And I know the hard work that is being done by our estate managers in Berbice, especially in Albion and in the country. I went recently on the tour of the backdowns and the fields, and the work that is done in these sugar estates to make sugar from cane is enormous. In fact, you make sugar in the cane fields, it begins in the cane fields. And that is tremendous agricultural work that is being done. And I salute those estate managers. But I just wanted to say, Honorable Minister, that in an economy that is going to be, in Trinidad we used to talk about a polarized economy, where the oil and gas wealth is so very high, it reduces the wealth of other industries. Well, we have to try to level up. It's not going to be easy when oil and gas prices are too high. What is important in all our industries, sugar, rice, and let me salute the government also for taking an old idea about corn and soya. When I was a young engineer back in Guyana, I told the then government, I don't want to call their name, that you know what? I want to go to Ibini. I want to go to Ibini to work on that project on corn and soya. Them send that by Sankat, go there. Just stay in charge and push paper. And that is when I decided there were better things to do in my life. Because I'm an ag engineer by training. They started that. But they could never finish it, they could never succeed. I want to congratulate our leadership, His Excellency, and particularly our Minister, working with the private sector for the work that they're doing just next to Region 6 on the Berbice River. Corn and soybean production that will reduce significantly our food import bill because that is the main ingredient for animal feeds. And trust me, if we succeed, and we will succeed, we will also export corn and soya to the region that needs that. You need chicken feed, and it's corn and soya that make chicken feed. So there are real opportunities there. And then there is the opportunities also in aquaculture, which we're hearing, in shrimp farming, in fish farming, in fish. And in a related area, Honorable Minister, again, we must add more value. As we process more fish down the road, we will get a lot of byproducts of the fish. And one of the biggest byproducts of the fish is fish meal, which is the protein that is required to add to the corn and soya to make a complete meal. I've done some of these things in my life. We need to add value so that our agricultural industry, the wealth that it creates, is raised to a higher level, and the benefits will accrue to our farmers, and we will all have a very good quality of life, not only those in oil and gas. Now, we must not forget forestry. Guyana must move from forestry to furniture, and we need to develop the skills in cabinetry and carpentry so that we convert our very prized woods to furniture. When we have courts in Trinidad, when we have courts in Guyana, when we have them all over the Caribbean, the furniture must come from Guyana, not from Thailand and China. Guyana, we must convert that wood to Guyanese furniture. But we need to build the skills to make fine quality. Guyana has always been known for its furniture, but the quality was not quite there. We need to raise the quality of what we do. And we do that by building the skills in carpentry and cabinetry to do just that. And I know some of the technical institutes are providing that training. And one day, you never know, Port Moran Training College may do just that if we're given an opportunity. So value addition is critical to raise the wealth that comes out of the agricultural industry. Our farmers, our producers, our processors must never be seen to be second class or poor. Their contribution to Guyana must be recognized as they are being recognized, but the value that comes back to them must be raised. Minister, one thing I also want to say. There was an old slogan long ago about eating local. I use the word grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Berbicians do that all the time. Our food import bill in this country, Guyana is going to always withstand the storms of food insecurity. But we need to move and grow even more and eat what we grow. You know, there's a saying in some parts of the Caribbean, when you ask young people where food come from, you know what they will say? Our food come from the supermarket. Well, I never want to hear that in Guyana. I never ever want to hear that in Guyana. The food comes from the farmers and from the Pocorat market and Rosal market, not the supermarket. I have nothing against the supermarkets, especially those multinational supermarkets that are going to come to Guyana. I don't want to call no name. But when you go in there and see what they are selling, all imported stuff that is produced in Guyana or could be produced here. Now those things really trouble me because I've seen what has happened in the rest of the Caribbean and how they have become dependent on these big multinational food corporations. Processed food is also not good for your health. The best food you could get is from your Pocorat market, fresh fruits, vegetables, fish, meat. We are blessed here in Berbice in this Guyana. Let's make use of what we have because another old saying, all that glitters in the supermarket is not gold. Nutrition is very, very important, and we know lifestyle diseases. And processed foods are the ones that create disease like this. Diabetes, stroke, cardiac issues. They all come out of nutrition and poor nutrition and the dependence on processed foods. So I ask you to be very cautious. All that glitters is not gold. And I know we will get the money to buy things in the supermarket, but be careful. Also look at your health and support our farmers and support our vendors in the market. And I just want to say congratulations to the government of Guyana on all the development that we heard about. I don't want to repeat it. This Berbice is developing like nothing that we've seen before. Possibly two things were not mentioned, which I heard in the last several days, that are going to really change this country, and particularly from Kellen to Nyamsudan. And that is the Quarantine River Bridge. That Quarantine River Bridge will transform Berbice, trust me. Because the movement of people, the movement of goods, the movement of services will become unparalleled. And there is real opportunities there for those of you who want to cash in on that. The movement of goods and produce and people, hotels and inns and restaurants, you name it. Those are real opportunities that will arise with this Quarantine River Bridge. And the other thing that I've heard about, Peter, our government is committed to building a deep water port somewhere in the Berbice River. I heard that. That will allow for exports not only from Guyana but from Suriname and Brazil to exit our country. Ports bring tremendous value, tremendous employment, and that is going to be a game changer for our region. And we're also being told that the petrochemical sector will also come here. The gas will be used for developing a petrochemical industry, urea, ammonia, which Trinidad knows to do very well. They become global in that, and we can learn from that. So these are the things that will bring immense benefits to our Berbice and Guyana. And this county will be changed in a dramatic way. So I just want to say some concluding words. I'm an educationist by training. I urge you, parents, guardians, young ones, Berbicians have always been very strong on educating their children. They save, they cut their cloth to send their children to school and university. You're continuing to do that. And I want you to stay that course. Continue to train your students to capitalize on this new wealth in oil and gas and agriculture and agribusiness, agritourism, a big one. You need to train your students, your kids to get there. And Berbicians have a phobia to train the girl children. You got to let the girl children go a little bit and let them go away from home a little bit to go and do technical training. They must become a welder. They must become a plumber. They must become a machinist. Sometimes I know you're fearful. We live in a different world. You need to give your girl children a chance to succeed. They cannot only remain as housewives. They must also get involved as young technicians and professionals in Guyana. And while medicine and law and all them things still important, technical training is the name of the game. So I want to stop here, but say to you that Berbicians also have great values. Hospitality, community, togetherness, never let those values go. That is what defines Berbice, our friendliness and our hospitality. All over the region, all over the Caribbean. Keep that up. Sometimes wealth changes us in difficult ways, different ways. Keep up those good values. My blessings to all of you, and good luck to Berbicians and to Guyanese for the future. I'm there for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Sankat, for that lecture. We are now all very informed, again, of the multiple opportunities that must be seized here in Berbice. So I think it's an apt time that we take a little break from the speeches, and that you will now be entertained, serenaded by the multi-marauders. This is a school steel band, a local school steel band from New Amsterdam Secondary School, popularly known as New Amsterdam Multi. So we'll ask the young men and women to come onto the stage now and treat us to some brilliant steel pan music. Last year we had Berbice High School, right from New Amsterdam also. This year we have another band. Oh, they deserve a great round of applause. I think in Berbice here we are uniquely blessed with talent. That was the multi-Morelos. Now, moving on in our program, we have come to the point that we will hear from a gentleman who really needs no introduction again. He's a founding member of the Central Quarantine Chamber of Commerce. This is his third term as the president of the Chamber of Commerce. He has served in all capacities: treasurer, secretary, PRO. He's a businessman, he's a pharmacist, he's a farmer, he's a veterinarian. He wears many, many hats. He's also a dedicated family man, he's a philanthropist. In spite of all this, he still finds the time to volunteer his services to the Chamber of Commerce and the upliftment of business in the region. With a treasure trove of ideas, in fact, way back in 2005, it is Mr. Punai Bigru and myself who aborted the idea of a Berbice Expo. Please help me welcome Mr. Punai Bigru, President of the Central Quarantine Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you, Mr. Guyana, for those warm welcome. And some of those stuff that you said was so long ago, I just can't even remember it all this right stuff. In the interest of time, Honorable Minister, Mr. Zulfikar Mustafa, all protocol observed, I'd like to recognize the Ambassador of Suriname, Mr. Vigilant Dipu. Ladies and gentlemen, pleasant good night. It is indeed an absolute honor and privilege to be delivering these few remarks as the President of the Central Quarantine Chamber of Commerce. This year marks the 80th Berbice Expo, which bear the theme Innovation, Oil, Gas and Agriculture for a Sustainable Future. This theme resonates deeply with the current dynamics of our economy and our collective aspiration for a wealthy and sustainable future. To address some of the most pressing global challenges of our time, from climate change to food security and poverty alleviation. I will now give a brief history, and I'll be very brief. I know maybe I've been long on the stage, so please bear with me. I'll try to be as brief as possible. I will now give a brief history of the Central Quarantine Chamber of Commerce, which was formed in November of the year 2004 with a membership of approximately 18 persons. I must mention the late Mr. Ramlayal Bukmuhan, who was very, very instrumental in the formation of the chamber. At that time, he was the president of the ARC, which was the Association of Regional Chamber of Commerce, and he was also the president of the Berbice Chamber of Commerce. Our first elected president of the chamber was no other than Mr. Adrian Anamaya, and other elected presidents over the years included Mr. Jadu, Mr. Joda, Mr. Rafiq, Mr. Ramage, Mr. Imran Hamid, last but not least, yours truly, Mr. Punai Bigru. Our first expo was held the following year to our formation, which was 2005, and I said this seems like a very long time ago. Over the years, the chamber has built a fire station, helping the renovation of Phyllis Austin Police Training Complex, and we have expended over $25 million in improvement to both Albion Sports Complex and Rizal Welfare Country Ground right here. And these proceeds were, we put all this money in for those two grounds because those were two main venues for Berbice Expo over the years. Also, we have also donated to the hurricane relief in St. Vincent and the Grenadines to a tune of nearly $1 million, which was earlier this year. And we have donated from our expo last year over $500,000 to the special needs school in Amsterdam to facilitate that institution with AC unit so that the children in that school could have a better, it was like so really hot so they could be cooler and a better environment for learning. And if I keep listing the numerous projects the Central Quarantine Chamber of Commerce has undertaken over the years, this will take too long. Therefore, we should go on. Our team. Ladies and gentlemen, Berbice being an agriculture region, agriculture has been the lifeblood of our nation for generations. The modernization of this sector has been rapidly progressing under the watchful eyes of our hardworking and reliable Minister of Agriculture, who is taking this sector to a different level. Modernization of this sector will not only ensure that we become self-sufficient in food, but will reduce our food import bills. The global challenges of food security and fluctuating prices makes it critical for Guyana to strengthen its agriculture base. New found wealth from oil and gas can be redirected into agriculture sector. It can be used to upscale farming with modern technologies like precision farming, enhance irrigation systems, and improve seeds and fertilizers, all of which is being working towards presently. There is a need to provide farmers with access to credit, training, and technology so we can increase our productivity and make Guyana a leading agriculture nation in this region, and realizing our President's vision to reduce our region import bills. This will also help our farmers to secure better markets for their produces and a more competitive prices. Honorable Minister, seeing that you're here, I think there is a pressing need in this region, in our region, region number 6. And I think it's something that needs to be done, and I know with your innovation and your ideas and the way you get things done. I think in this region, and I'll give you a little story, my daughter, once growing up, I mean, I've been a farmer having an animal, she always liked animals, so she always go in with me, she want to play with the animal. She eventually said she want to become a veterinarian. Eventually, when she grew a little bit more, and then I took her to the farm, and then I told her, one of the jobs being a farmer, you got to clean animal poop. You know, you got to pick the dung, you got to clean the dung up. And then she was like, you know what you got to do. So the thing is that what is it that we need? We need a model livestock farm. The livestock farm, whereby children from a very small age, nursery school age, we can take them to the farm, we can expose them to animals from a very tender age, and they can understand what are the responsibilities, what is the job of being a farmer. So we will wait until they get big and their nails don't want to get dirty, and then they don't want to wear long boots to go into the farm. We can start them young, and I think it's something that can benefit Berbice, so we don't have to go to GLE in Georgetown or Monroe to see this done. So, Minister, I challenge you, this is something that we can really look at. A new era of growth. Guyana stands at the brink of an unprecedented opportunity with the recent development in the oil and gas sector. The discovery of offshore oil reserves has transformed the economic landscape of our region and our country as a whole. Berbice presently is on the upward trajectory. A few glaring examples that we have heard our previous speaker said, that if you were to recently, those of us who would have passed by Palmyra this afternoon or days ago, there's a construction of the new stadium has begun, planned for hotels, fun parks, and other businesses are starting to dot the landscape there. Not leaving out the massive housing scheme that's planned for Palmyra and the industrial estate. The construction of roads throughout Berbice has been leaps and bounds have grown over the last 2 years. Billions of dollars has been expended in roads and all the streets that have been, people used to walk through one street long ago. Every one of us, or most of us in Berbice now, it's something of the bygone age. The new Continent Highway 4-lane road expansion project, and there are 3 spanking new hospitals, so 2 in Region 6 and 1 in Region 5. And the list would go on and on and on for development that's happening. At our own backyard, Putman, the construction of a technical training college. This highly anticipated project are meant to train Guyanese to take up the role in oil and gas and the hospitality sector. This facility will include hospitality and the tourism institute and oil and gas training college. This institution would have great spin-off effects in the surrounding and nearby communities. As we all know, with great opportunity comes great responsibilities. The wealth secured from oil and gas is not just for today, but for generations to come. The key question we must ask ourselves is, what this newfound wealth means to our country as a whole? And I answer, it means investment in infrastructure, education, health and social service. This will lead to job creation, economic diversification, and sustainable growth. However, it also means ensuring that we manage this resource carefully. Don't let it end up being a pitfall like other nations have faced, with the so-called resource curse. Minister, again, it seems like I'm going to be on your case tonight, but that's not the case that I'm on your case. But you are the representative of the government. I mean, others haven't shown up here. And I think another need for Berbicians in Berbice, there is a lot is being spent on education in Guyana, across Guyana on the whole, which I must really commend the government for. But one major issue, I guess, not only that Berbician kids are going to be faced, but other region, housing. As we all know, most of the better schools, I should say, are in Georgetown, even the University of Guyana, where we have the university campus in Dane, they don't offer all the subjects. And I know several cases where children who passed to go to Queen's College, bishops who want to further their study in the University of Guyana, is faced with serious financial problems in housing. Because of the way Guyana has gone forward, housing has become a great challenge in Georgetown. I mean, the cheapest apartment probably is about $80,000 and $90,000. So for students to find this money to go to school to further their education, it's almost impossible. So I challenge you and I challenge the government that whilst we are giving away so many house lots and we are looking to open new land, we set aside some of this specifically for house students and kids from Berbice so that they can afford this type of housing to pay for rent and also to assist them to take their education to a different level. It doesn't have to be dormitory style, but something that would at least get to reduce costs to whatever they have to spend. As we all have our hopes and aspirations to look forward towards the future, I want to reassure everyone here that the private sector stands as the engine of growth for our economy. We have the unique responsibility to drive innovation, foster entrepreneurship, and create employment opportunities that uplifted communities across the country. By working closely with the government, the private sector can channel investment into areas that spur economic growth and alleviate poverty, ensuring that the benefits of our natural resources are shared by all. The Chamber of Commerce, as a key representative of the business community, will continue sustainable business practices, encourage investments in green technologies, and provide platforms such as this exposition and trade fair for business to showcase their innovation. In conclusion, as I wind down the curtain on this speech, I want to thank all those who have contributed to make this exposition and trade fair a reality. It is events like this that bring together the best of Guyana entrepreneurial spirit, showcasing the potential of our people and industries. Together, we can create a future where our oil wealth, agriculture innovation, and private sector strength contribute to a thriving, sustainable, and inclusive economy. Let us seize the moment to work towards building an affluent Guyana for all. To all our sponsors, exhibitors, collaborating partners, thank you, and I wish you all a successful and productive Berbice Exposition and Trade Fair 2024. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, for that very informative presentation on our team, expressing the importance that we do not fall prey to the dreaded Dutch disease. At the Exposition and Trade Fair, ladies and gentlemen, we like to promote culture, we like to promote the various artists and expose our people and Berbicians to different talents. So we have a treat for you now, another cultural presentation. I don't think we've ever had such a presentation in the region, certainly not at the Expo over the last 18 years. I will help you welcome to the stage Miss Alina Rupnarai, who will be doing a rendition on the violin. I bet you never expected that. What a beautiful rendition. Ladies and gentlemen, we are nearing the end of the program, and we have come at that time for the feature address. The Honorable Prime Minister, Brigadier Mark Phillips, is unavoidably absent. He sends his regrets, but no harm. We have another gentleman here who's quite able to do the task. The Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Mr. Zulfikar Mustafa. He really is a son of the soil, has made Berbice very proud. Minister Mustafa started his professional career in agriculture, working to represent farmers in the Guyana agriculture and for this very region, and later as a member of parliament until the year 2020. He was officially appointed in 2020 to serve as the Minister of Agriculture, which he has been doing since. He has taken the ministry by storm. He is transforming that ministry. He has taken several steps to strengthen resilience and sustainability of agri-food systems in Guyana. His efforts have been invested in all areas, including a major focus on drainage and irrigation. Minister Mustafa actively participates in high-level dialogues, meetings, workshops to develop access to markets and improving the disaster response capacity of Guyana.